buck right here.
Welcome back to Whitetail Explorer. Barry Greenhall is bow hunting big bucks.
I'm talking about right there.
As whitetail hunters, we're all explorers. We're always out there exploring for a better food source, bedding areas, looking for tree stand locations, exploring for rub lines, scrape lines. We're no different than the big mature whitetail bucks themselves. Whitetail Explorer, we're glad you joined us.
Whitetail Explorer is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Hornady, Matthews Archery, Muzzy Broadheads, Nocturnal Lighted Knots, Block Targets. Come along with Stan Potts and his team as they hunt big bucks on Whitetail Explorer.
Folks, welcome to Whitetail Explorer. This week, we are going with my buddy Barry Greenhall to Kentucky. Now, it is early season in Kentucky, and Barry's got his Matthews. He's bow hunting. He has some mishaps, and he has some things happen where he has to make judgment calls. And judgment calls in hunting sometimes makes the difference between success and failure. And Barry is all alone. He is filming himself. Without further ado, let's head to Kentucky, September, with Barry Greenhall.
Hey guys, welcome to Kentucky. It's the first hunt of the year here. It's early season and it's warm, but we've got a wind out of the northwest and gonna have it the next few days, which is gonna bring the temperatures down. That should get these deer up and moving. I'm sitting on the top field here that's got some clover in here, and there's a big soybean field right back over here that these deer are going to, and they kind of bed all back in here behind me, so I'm gonna try to catch them going this way. We've got lots of bucks on trail camera, so should be a good evening. Stay with me. These deer are starting to pile out all around me. It's getting that time of the evening. I've already got one pretty nice 8-point out here. He's just young though. He's tall. Real symmetrical. All the deer that were out here in front of me earlier have moved on and are headed for that soybean field, but there's nothing else close besides a little fawn or two, but it should be about that prime time that an old buck would come cruising through, so fingers are crossed. Hopefully we'll see one. Got a good buck right here coming in. I'm about out of camera light, but if he'll get out here in front of him, we're gonna try to take him. It's getting darker and darker. I've still got a little bit of light if you'll hurry up. I'm afraid we're gonna run out of light.
Give me a second. Thank you, Lord.
This segment is brought to you by Hunter's Safety System.
About 80 yards out, I have a buck who's interested, that shows signs of being interested. What's kind of a calling sequence that you would recommend to use to get that buck to close the distance to within shooting range?
Jason, thanks for asking that question. That's a question that I get asked a lot. And I call and I rattle and I use a decoy, and a lot of times you will have a big mature buck come in and he'll hang up out there at 70, 80, 100 yards, whatever. What I like to do is I use all the calls in my arsenal. I'll use a tending grunt, I'll use a soft doe bleat, and I use a snort wheeze. And sometimes if the first two calls don't work, either the doe or the buck, then I use that snort wheeze, and that will loosen him up a lot of times, and he drops those ears back and he comes right in and he tries a circle between me and my buck decoy. Remember, buck decoy, snort wheeze. That's why I use it last, and that's why it works very, very well. So try all three, but that snort wheeze works really well. Thank you, Jason, for your question.
Hey guys, it's my last evening here in Kentucky. I've got to get home, get packed for a New Mexico elk hunt. What I'm doing tonight is sitting on a different part of the field. The wind has switched out of the southeast. It was out of the northwest, and I was hunting a different spot and had that drop time buck come in on me there right at dark, and just couldn't get a shot at him before I ran out of camera light. I know he comes through this part of the field because we got pictures of him, but whether or not he'll make it during daylight hours right here, I'm not sure. But what we're going to do is keep our fingers crossed and hope that he does. So. It's a little after 5. The first deer popped out down here on my right. Looks like 3 or 4 of them. Got a little spike in the bunch, but we should start seeing stuff pop out right here in front of me and coming around this corner, coming from back where I've been hunting. So. Shooter buck right here.
You're watching Whitetail Explorer. We'll be right back. Welcome to Property Goals with Mark Beck. This segment is brought to you by Illinois Land Sales and Auction.
Hey everyone, you're watching Property Goals with Mark Beck here on Whitetail Explorer. I was fortunate enough to meet Stan Potts probably 20 years ago at a local archery shop here in Central Illinois. Since then, we've hunted all across the country for all kinds of animals, elk and whitetail. A little bit about my background is I used to own a restoration company. We did tree plantings, property restoration all throughout the Midwest. I've planted really hundreds of thousands of trees, shrubs, and native grass plantings all over the place. So I feel like I've had a lot of experience in that. I actually own an Illinois Land Sales, which is a real estate company. We sell farm and recreational property. So I'm living this lifestyle 365 a year. So that's my passion, that's my goals, is to help people improve their property. Join us every week on Whitetail Explorer for more property goals.
Welcome back to Whitetail Explorer.
he's going to go down right there. Guys, I made a horrible shot on that deer. He ran out there, he's about 70 yards right now, and he's just standing there. That deer's not gonna make it. He's hurting too bad. He's over at the edge of the woods right now. I'm just gonna have to give him a lot of time. If he goes inside the woods, I'm gonna give him overnight. And I should be able to recover him, but I am disgusted with that shot. I had him right here close and just messed it up. Well, guys, he's bedded at the edge of the field. I can see him over there with my binoculars. I've given him quite a bit of time. As you can see, it's starting to get dark. I'm going to go ahead and watch him for a little bit longer. And I'm going to try to ease out of here. Guys, he just stood up. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on him while I got daylight here and figure out what he's gonna do, because he may not be bleeding much. It may be hard to track, so as long as we don't bump him, I don't think he's gonna go very far, and he'll be laying right there in the morning. Just watched him. He got up and he walked into the timber. Looks like about 20 or 30 yards. And I've lost him on camera. I can't even see him with my binoculars. So, oh, I'm just as sick as a dog right now. But we're gonna do the right thing here, and we're gonna back out. And I'm gonna get out of here as quiet as I can and try not to bump him. And come back, just give him a lot of time, because he's really sick. I don't think he's gonna make it, so. Man, just, please, Lord, let me get him.
Whitetail Explorer is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Hornady, Hunter Safety System, Third Arm Camera Tree Support, IQ Bow Sights, Illinois Land Sales and Auction, Springfield Archery, and booksbypots.com. Welcome to Capture the Hunt with Barry Greenhall. This segment is brought to you by the Third Arm Camera Tree Support.
Hey guys, I'm Barry Greenhall with Capture the Hunt, and over the next few episodes, we're going to dive into some cameras on how-tos and setups, and try to teach you guys a little bit more about cameras and people that are wanting to get into the filming aspect of hunting. So what we're going to do today, I've got a few cameras laid out here, and I want to go through the different types and different styles of cameras here. Camera like this is what we would call a point and shoot or a POV style camera. They're great as far as all you got to do is turn them on and hit record. You don't have to zoom, focus. Something like this is not very good though for filming a whole hunt. You know, you can't, your subject is going to be pretty small in here. So this is a camera that you're going to use more for an action shot or like a second camera angle. This camera right here, this is something that, like if you're filming you and your buddies, this camera would be perfect for that. They're inexpensive. With a few different hookups here, you can have good audio. You can't run both wireless or shotgun. You got to do one at a time. You got to pick one. So this camera is really good though for filming you and your buddies. If you want to get into more TV style cameras, these cameras right here are what a lot of people are running now. This is what you would call a DSLR camera. It's got a total different look from these other cameras, and a lot of people are using these to get certain shots or even second camera angles, and a lot of people are filming whole hunts with them. They're a really good camera. This camera right here is actually my own personal camera, and this camera will do anything that I want to do as far as TV quality. It's got the wireless and shotgun mic capability. Got a great 20 power lens. I mean, I can zoom out there and film anything I need to. So if you're going to do TV stuff, these cameras are what you're going to look for. Even these cameras right here will work, but they're more like second camera angles. Now, if you want to get into professional, this is the kind of camera you want to look at. I've filmed with this camera for the last several years now, and this thing will do anything you want, and that's the big top of the line. But you know, these are all great cameras for what they are. That's what you really need to do. You need to look at what you want to do, what kind of level you want to get into, and pick the right camera for you. Stay with us the next few episodes. I'm going to get in and kind of go more into the setups and different features of these cameras. So stay with us. Hopefully you'll learn something. Well guys, I'm back at the tree where I shot that buck last night. And by the looks of the video, I don't think he's very far in there. He was hurt pretty bad last night and just barely made it into the timber before he bedded down the first time. And the last I saw, he got up and just started easing on in there, but I really don't think he's going to be very far down in there. So I waited till dark before I got down, slipped out of here, so he should be, unless the coyotes got after him last night, he should be laying right in the timber. Let's go find him. There he is. Yes. Laying right over here. He didn't go not even 100 yards, probably 75 yards in. He bedded right over here whenever I saw him last night, and he's crossed this little gully and he's right up here. Let's go take a look at him. Thank you, God. Oh, wow, what a buck. Awesome. Wow. What an awesome deer. Look at this buck. Let me get back here behind him where you can see him. The Matthews Creed XS does it again. Look at this guy. We call this buck the drop tine buck because of this point here. It's almost more of a flyer, but once we seen him on the trail camera pictures, the name just kind of stuck. He's got a kicker coming off of his G2 there and got a really neat point that curves around back here in the back. Behind his brow tine, got a lot of mass, carries it all the way out. Down to the wire right here in Kentucky last evening of my hunt. The Lord has blessed me with another buck. Didn't make the greatest shot in the world, but I gave him time, backed out, and come in this morning and found him. Thank you, God, for letting me find this buck. I'm headed back to Arkansas with another beautiful Kentucky buck.
Great call, Barry Green Hall. That kind of rhymes, doesn't it? Great call on that, you know. Backing out, and my motto has always been, and Barry's too, when in doubt, back out. Thanks for tuning in this week. Barry got her done, but I need you right back here on Whitetail Explorer next week because we will have some great whitetail action. See you next week right here, same time, same place.